Hey guys! Yeah, you know who I am. It's your boy Blue, also known as Sean. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday evening. We got the Monday market report for the week ending September 8th, 2024. Oh my goodness, this year is just. Oh man. Where's it going? Where's it going? Yeah, maybe it's going into the coin market. We had a quite the week last week. Will this week kind of meet the demands of last week? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we are doing MMR, so yeah, some of these coins have done extremely well. The market is in full swing, folks. We're heading into the holiday season. It's the most action-packed, exciting 12 weeks that you will ever experience each and every single year. So get ready. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. And every step of the way, your boy Blue's going to be doing these market reports. We're going to keep you, we're going to keep you taps. I'm the pulse of the market. I'm constantly monitoring this along with the precious metals market and how that's doing. What's the correlation? Awesome. Just great stuff. I'm I'm kind of waiting on this impending crash. That's kind of like the forbidding fruit word that has come up a few times. Some people say we are in a down market. There is no indication of that. A lot of the more common stuff, common grades, they're seeing flat sales right now, and that's understandable. But I think there is a little bit of error as far as really using these common pieces as kind of a hinge for the market, the foundation, and that can be wrong. If the market's flooded of a certain thing, sales will slow. Doesn't matter what it is. But for the higher end tier coins, registry sets, investables, key dates, things like that, they will continue to plug away about as sure as you could possibly ever imagine. And the slowdown, while it might be inevitable at some point in the future, right now we're really enjoying a very robust market for all of those top flight pieces. So we're gonna check things out on great collections. A lot of the auctions did end as of right now. Um, so I'll be live. I'll be live this week. I was live earlier today, by the way, in case you haven't figured out. Your boy Blue ended up falling into a pretty sweet collection of repousse punch outs, pop outs, or whatever you call them. Original 1920s and 30s era pieces. All finding new homes. All finding new homes. Glad to see that. But we have another show on Friday, and who knows, there might even be another pop up sometime this week. I've been enjoying these pop ups, and I hope you guys are too. So on Friday, we have our 200-year U.S. type signature sale. So you best believe in the last 200 years of U.S. type coins, we are going to be featuring a lot of pieces from all varying eras of the last 200 years. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come join me on Friday, the 13th. 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're doing a little earlier show that day. And of course, the September showdown is in full swing, ladies and gents. For each and every single item that you purchase, you get a point into the end of the month draw, where we're going to be giving away some really sweet pieces, like we did in May. We gave away some Carson City GSAs. You guys remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I'll tell you that. And this is going to be just an epic event. If you haven't taken part of it yet, we have new buyers coming into the fold to take a crack at it. And I personally invite you guys too. I'll have my referral link down below. Sign up today. Get yourself $15 off your first item that you purchase. Can't beat that, folks. And Whatnot is also looking for spirited, motivated sellers. If you're selling on any other platform like eBay and you're looking for that live auction format option, that solution, look no further than Whatnot. I'll also have my referral link to sign up to become a seller on the platform. It is awesome. You'll love it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Double Vision Lincoln Scent, starting things off here. It's a good day when the market report starts off with one of my favorite pieces to just revel in. 1955 Lincoln Wheat Scent, doubled die obverse. I'm sure this coin probably needs no further introduction. It is known by everyone, even non-collectors of this hobby. We have quite a stunning example here, that graded PCGS Mid-State 64 Red Brown. It's also known as the FS 101, by the way, which is a Cherry Picker's Guide to Attribution. Nice one here. How about $7,342.88 final result on this coin this evening? Whew. Yeah, I would love to own one at this grade level. I could probably do without the little carbon spot there on the obverse, but beggars can't be choosy, that's for sure. And sometimes, the right piece comes along to someone that's willing to pay that price tag. The next one that we have here this evening, a 1943S, our good old one-year type Steely, as we would call it, for short. It's a zinc-coated or zinc-plated steel scent. We all know the history here. The U.S. needed the copper and nickel ores toward the war effort. So U.S. Mint had to pivot in some way to provide an alternate type of composition for its coinage. So in 1943, they went with this one here. And even today, this coin is so special that a lot of people invest all sorts of amounts of money in these, whether they're in BU rolls, which are still out there, they're not cheap, PDNS, graded examples, non-graded examples, bulk, beat up, rusted, oxidized pieces. Everybody loves them. So this one here in a 68, beautiful high grade, but it's missing a CAC sticker, all right, which we've seen a few of these here recently with that. Without a CAC sticker, this one hammered for $2,421. While not too bad of a price tag, it could have realized a whole bunch more, at least $1,000 more with a CAC green sticker. We also have this one here, not the highest grade in a 42S, but take comfort in knowing that if you don't necessarily hit the top grade, that a 67 plus full red CAC green bean is the next best thing. This ensures that you're going to have some value here. This is what we call a safety net coin, a reassurance of sorts. We've highlighted mid-state 68s here in previous MMRs. There have been a number of 1940s San Francisco Lincolns that have hit that ultimate 68 grade that everybody looks to achieve. But a 67 plus is no slouch either. This one here sold for $1,406.25. And of course, one of the key dates of the series, the 31S, is loved by all. Everyone must absolutely own one of these if you're a completionist like me. I have quite a few of these in my collection, but that's over the course of 25 plus years of being in this hobby. I've been able to acquire and accumulate a nice healthy position of 31S's. It's one of my favorites because it has a sub-million mintage figure. So regardless of how you purchase this, graded or raw, it should be a staple in any collection. All right, it's gonna fulfill what you need out of this hobby if you're able to afford one of these. So this one here in a 65 brown has a nice bluish halo tinge to it, which really gives that look that a lot of people who covet originality are seeking. This one sold for $1,125. That seems like a lot of money, but again, there are budget options here of this coin, and it doesn't matter how you buy it. You need to own one today. This is one of those that I would say is very high on the list for a lot of yeah, I guess, kind of armchair collectors. Okay, now we're getting into a couple very tough dates. These are dates typically that were never preserved in the highest grades. A lot of these were used and abused, especially going into the Great Depression era of the United States, the early 30s, 1929, that big stock market crash. You guys know it as Black September or whatever it's called. I mean, it was a big deal. A lot of people lost their jobs during this time. So not a lot of people saved any sort of physical money. A lot of it was used and abused. All right, 27S Lincoln Cent was one of those. Let's be honest. PCGS got this one as a 65 red brown. Impressive grade, very nice price tag, $2,081.25 on this one. 24D, we all know the 24D. It's a great semi-key date, very low mintage, just over 2 million, I believe. We have this one here, a beautiful example. I actually like the look of like this lighter brown oxidized color. This one is a 65 brown, CAC green bean. I've owned this coin in varying degrees of grade. I've never owned one in 65 brown. All right. The best I was able to muster at one point was a 62 brown, and that was still quite an expensive coin. But this particular one sold for $3,150, and that's even with a cat green sticker. Between this and the next coin we're going to cover, they're kind of like under the radar coins. But we know the 24D as being a much tougher date. Okay, that's just a foregone conclusion. However, 23S, forgotten by just about everyone else, a couple quite impressive examples ended up on Great Collections this week, which these two coins that we're going to talk about probably single-handedly bailed this one out of the fire, because anything competing against last week's monstrous week of coins, you're going to find that, usually other reports that fall after that one usually won't be as impressive. However, we had this 23S and the 65 red, a color designation that is so scarce on this date. They typically do not come up red. A lot of them are usually red brown or full brown. 65 red, CAC green sticker, so they definitely agreed to the grade and the color designation of this example. This one did it. This one saved this report at $75,937.50. Yeah, you heard that right. $75,000. It's like a brand new BMW X5 or whatever that is. It's a very expensive coin. And of course, we got a 23 Philly. Pretty nice toning on this one, by the way, but it still managed to score at a 67 plus full red. Now, compared to San Francisco's, we're talking like polar opposites here in quality. 23 Phillies, generally a lot better. But again, we don't think about coins like this. We think about your 22 planes, your 14Ds, the 09S VDB, the 31S. Those are kind of like the coins that people keep on the top of their brain. The 23s, the 24s, 25s, they're traditionally forgotten. 67 plus red, CAC green bean. How about $8,447.62? Two incredibly impressive Lincoln cents. All right, now we're on to nickels. We have a few here. Of course, like the 43S that we highlighted earlier. Okay, the Silver War nickels are hot as well. You get the right grade in full steps, and that's all she wrote. Color is at a massive premium here these days, because these things tone incredibly well because they're silver. 68 full steps here by PCGS on this 44D. Very pretty. $3,601.12. We also have a few Buffalo nickels. This one, fantastic for, again, obvious reasons. 38D. We've talked about quite a few 38Ds here recently. We have yet again another one here in a 68 with all this beautiful targeted toning on both sides of the coin. Very attractive. Glad to say this one ended at $3,487.51. It just seems like every single week we've been seeing a new 38D, and I love it, because these coins are very cherry pickable out there. There was a lot of BU 38Ds because it was the final date of the Buffalo nickel as it transitioned to the Jefferson nickel series. So a lot of people did hoard a 38D. All right, so we got 29S. Gets a little bit tougher here. Okay, this one I would say has pretty decent luster and a good strike. Not something you usually associate with any date of 20s Buffalo nickels. NGC, first NGC coin on the list in a 67. Gorgeous coin. $4,837.50. Great sale here on this one. And our final nickel, how about Liberty V, getting a little bit of love this week? It's none other than an extremely common date, 1911. I mean, good gracious. This is a date, ladies and gents, that is very well available. I've actually owned this coin in a 65 grade. Not particularly expensive. It's like $4, but it's gorgeous. Yet we have a 66 plus cat green bean right here of this 1911. $1,665. Seems like a comparable bargain. All right. Now, in a completely different way here, all right, keep in mind this Liberty V nickel, great type coin, by the way. 48S, Roosevelt dime. This one is quite interesting because it's got a different grading acumen on there. That's something that's relatively new to the game. Business strike coins that grade out as proof-like. We have one here, 48S, Mid-State 68, full torch, nice good strike, PL. This one actually has a PL designation by NGC. I'm going to guess that this coin probably looks lights out in hand. The picture is actually, I'm kind of like disappointed in what this coin looks like. But also, this one also has some scratches on the plastic of the holder as well. I did see that. All right, so this one here, ladies and gents, $2,025. Now, when we go back and looked at that Liberty V nickel at $1,665, it's like, oh yeah, this is no brainer here. We got a CAC 66 plus V nickel that I think for less money seems like a much better proposition. This one here is probably more registry set than anything else. We have a 1942 Philly, beautiful Mercury dime with loads of color. All right, this one really makes it happen here. And the grade in a 68, it's not even a full split bands either, which is quite interesting. It's got a cat green beam, the toning, again, really sets this one above the rest. $1,743.75. 1930 Mercury dime. Okay, a little bit tougher date. It's not quite 1931. 1930 is early enough that we began to kind of like take notice here. Not one that's particularly tough to find in higher grades, especially raw. They're still out there, but finding one that's a 67 full bands like this one can be a little bit of a challenge. $2,202.75. Okay, pretty nice, respectable sale there. And let's check out the market for just a run-of-the-mill 16D. All right, 16D. This is probably the keyest of key dates out there. When we closely associate 20th century key date coins, the 16D, I would say, is top 5. All right, because we recognize that even coins that grade like this, you see the label? Good 6. It's not going to win a beauty contest. I can tell you that right now. However, you wouldn't know any better by the price tag. $1,783.12 is how much you would pay for this coin this evening. Other coins of the same grade are going to be very similar, plus or minus $50 to $100. So it's not like you could get a smoking great deal on this coin. It's so low minted, and a lot of these ended up circulating all over the place that finding one that is problem-free with a full readable date and mint-marked, by the way, on much lower condition pieces, they kind of mold into the rim on the reverse. The rim on the reverse of these Mercury dimes do not wear very well. Almost $1,800. Okay, well, I didn't see this coming. All right, we haven't seen any big impactful sales from the West Point V75 series of coins from 2020. We had two of them here this evening. Starting out with the Marsh Billings Rockaphilia. I've been feeling this coin because this is one of the big ones. It's 67 grade. Um, between this and I would say the American Samoa and what's the other one? I believe it was like the last one made in 2020. Those three are the top ones, in the highest grades. So we have this bad boy here, $1,237.50. If you still got these from whence they first circulated 4 years ago, and you have a candidate that could possibly be a 67, now's your time to pounce. There are none of these coming out into the marketplace, but this week we had two of them, probably from the same consigner. We also have an American Samoa, also in 67, West Point V75 Privy. The 2020s are hot right now because of that Privy mark. It's different. $1,181.25. Glad to see these two show up here on the MMR. We haven't talked about a good ATB quarter in quite some time. Glad to see these West Points waking up. We got a pair of outstanding Standing Liberty quarters. This is probably bar none one of my favorite series in US type. 1926. Kind of like a regular date, right? It's Philadelphia. There was enough minted to meet demand, especially in all varying grades. Finding one that's in mid-state condition will set you back normally about $500 and not a 66 full head, which is what this one here. You could get a non-full head 65 grade for around $5. But this one here, if you need this and you need something extraordinary in your collection, this is it. $2,422.12. And just a little bit of toning on the date is quite the chef's kiss moment on this one. 21, a very nice key date. It's not a 23S, sure, but this is our one lone coin of the week, actually graded by CACG, all right, which, they're the up-and-coming kids on the block. People do love them. I love them myself. That's why I'm signed up as a member with them. Looking forward to submitting more coins to CAC. 65 full head, beautiful piece, very nice. $8,724.38. Gorgeous. And then finally, we got to throw in something else in there. Okay, we haven't talked about a good Franklin half dollar in quite some time. How about a 63D? Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a tough date for full bell lines. So this one certainly fits that to a T. I'm looking at the bell lines, and they are quite nice. Very tough to find with that full heavy strike on the reverse. The toning just really adds originality to it. It's not something that I would say is the most attractive thing on the block. This one was also a Ruby's Franklin Collection Provenance. Okay, so I'm sure Ruby probably had a pretty decent collection of Franklin half dollars. 66 plus, full bell lines, CAC. CAC agreed every bit of the way on the level of grade on this one. $3,150. And considering that this is a date, ladies and gentlemen, that is not at all rare, 63D in gemmy condition, they kind of grow on trees. And there's a lot of BU rolls out there too to search through. You just got to look for the full bell lines. That could be a little bit of a task, sure, but outside of that, it'll give you guys something to do that'll fill in your void in your life. So that's it, guys. What do you think? Really nice one. The 23S Lincoln. My goodness. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Keep in mind, the information provided in this video tonight is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. All right? Please do not quit your jobs to do any of this. Supplement it. Enjoy the hobby as it is. Please collect and or grade your coins responsibly. That's always important. Well, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it on your Sunday night of the Monday Market Report. I know that seems weird, but we've been doing it for weeks, years now, in that same fashion, dropping it on Sunday night, so that way you guys can enjoy it on Monday. That's going to go ahead and roll for our evening. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. This is quite the epic show this week. The market looking fabulous as always. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, hit that bell for instant notification. I am out here, guys. You guys have a great week, an easy Monday, and we'll see you later. Take care.